What's up? It's your boy Corey B. So today, okay, so right now it is uh, about a quarter after 7, and I have been, man, I've been busting it since about 10:30 this morning, um, and that seems late, cause normally I get a jump much earlier, but today I got up with Corey. I got up with Corey pretty early. It's Saturday, and it's the first day of his fall break, so he's off for 2 weeks. And so we kind of hung out, and we watched some TV, and made some breakfast, and just kind of took our leisurely time this morning. And then Colton and Mommy got up and everything, and um, I let it be known that I needed to hustle. So about 10:30 is when I really got rolling, and I've been busting it since then. I took a break to sit and have some lunch with the boys, which was cool, and I had to check on them throughout the day, but they've been pretty cool. They've been really independent today. They've had a lot of fun, a lot of playtime. They've played in the backyard and did their thing, and they played in the house. And ultimately, it's just been a really good day. It's been really productive. I have, I've been hauling it. I've listed like 50 new listings today, I think, somewhere around there. Um, in addition to that, I've been promoting and marketing things, just trying to keep that flow going, keep product going out, and keep keep my sales going, keep the marketing going, so that way people know what I got, available, what I've got listed, things like that. There's a lot of little things that people don't really take into consideration when you're doing reselling and stuff. Something that's important is marketing, just because of the fact that ultimately what you're doing, you are listing things that may or may not have a solid market. And if they've got a solid market, then you plug them in that market. But otherwise, when you just find things that are like weird things, collectibles, things like that, then what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that they know it's here, that it's available. You plug it on, your social media. You plug it on Twitter. You plug it on. You can use Instagram. I don't typically use Instagram for it, but a lot of the resale stores that I have an Instagram connection where I can actually relist them there and sell, and advertise them there. But I just don't typically like to do that. I use Instagram for other things. But you can do it through Twitter. You can do it Facebook. You can do it through email. You can do it however you want. Or you can also set up your own stores. You can set up like coupon programs to entice buyers. You could set up sales, like you can put a sale on certain merchandise, or for a time period, or for different products, or different categories of products, or you can set it up for your entire store, whatever it is, depending on the market in which you're doing it, whether doing Posh, or you're doing Etsy, or you're doing Reverb, any of those places. You can set up sales, but they just work differently depending on where you're doing it and how you do it. So those are things that I like to do, just to keep, like I said, ultimately to keep that flow of product. I want it to, I don't want to sit on product. I don't want to have, thousands and thousands of things listed. I want to continue to acquire things, but I want those things to disappear. I want to list them and they go, and then I get new products. I've talked about this before, about a guy that I learned a lot from, just from working with him. I helped him with his business for many years, off and on, helping him organize, helping him list. I really learned a lot from him of what to do, and I also learned a lot from him of what not to do. Like I said, he was really smart. He was really frugal, and he could always find great deals, and he knew how to sell things. He really did. But he would acquire so much inventory that he would just continue to, he could not sell or list nearly as much as he had, but he already had this mentality of, like, if you see $100 laying in the road, are you going to walk past it? Um, and it's he's not wrong, but he's not right either. In the sense that, if you see $100 bill in the road, it's $100 bill. That's cash. Now, if you see a product that's worth $100, can you move that product? And that's where you got to keep some real perspective on things. You've got to really keep perspective about what you're able to move. Do you have the ability to sell it? I know a good friend of mine right now. He actually works. He works with some people that I've been working with off and on for the last few years, and he's really incredible. And he sells musical gear, musical equipment, and he's got a dealer license, so he ultimately gets new products. In addition to getting new products, though, he always resells stuff. He gets stuff that are consignment pieces or things that people just sell or donate or whatever. I mean, he's found things in so many different places, and he's really, really good at this. But there has been times where people have brought things to him and they're like, "Hey, I got this," and he's like, he can see the value in it, but he also tells them that he's not the place to get rid of it because he's not going to move it. That's something that's developed with his level of expertise over time, that he's been in the musical industry, for more than a decade now, probably more than that. He's been in the musical industry for so long, and he knows so much, and it's amazing. And the things that he's been able to learn over time just by being in the industry and by being in retail. By being in retail, he's just learned the idea that there is a limit to what you can move. And it doesn't mean that you can't move it, but it's not worth putting the capital or investment into something if it's not going to move. I knew a guy. There's a guy, another good friend of mine, this guy Roger. He was incredible. He actually had when I met Roger almost 20 years ago, he was a mechanic who ran his own shop. But over time, this guy, he got into real estate. He had multiple properties, and he got into dealing cars. He loved dealing cars. He said dealing cars had so much better profit margins than working on cars. Working on cars, man, there was so much. There was a lot that went into being a mechanic, and that went into running a shop, and there was an extreme amount of overhead, and he always offered warranties on all his repair work, which that got him a lot of repeat business, which was great for his the word of mouth that spread around town and stuff. And I mean, he was well known and well liked, and incredible mechanic, and just a great guy. But he told me, when I had talked to him one time, I talked to him one day and asked him, because he had a string of Ford diesel trucks on his lot. And I was like, well, you have all these Ford diesels. Why? Because, I don't know, at the time I was kind of interested in a Chevy. But I like Ford. There's nothing wrong with Ford. I just was interested in the Chevy at the time, so I asked him. And he was talking about the depreciation value of a Chevy. It just depreciates so much slower than a Ford. So for him to buy one, at like a car auction or whatever, he was going to put a lot of capital into it, and and he didn't know how fast it was going to sell. So that was just too huge of an investment, and he preferred diesel just because on all his cars, he'd buy them at an auction, he'd take them into his shop, he'd make sure and, tune them up, check them out, give them diagnostics, and make sure that everything was good. So that way when he sold it, he gave people a warranty for a year, and he knew that, hey, worst case scenario, they're going to have to replace a part, and labor's free, but they buy the part. That's what he guaranteed on all his vehicles, which was really, really cool. But he said diesels didn't break as often. Diesels were more reliable. But he said because he had so many reliable customers, he's like, if there's ever something you're looking for that you want for you, or there's something you want, you're going to buy your kid a vehicle or whatever, then he's like, just hit me up, tell me what you want. I pass on vehicles all the time at auctions. Not because there's not value, but because of the amount of capital I'm going to put into it. If it's going to sit on my lot, I need to know that it's going to move. Otherwise, I'm not going to invest in certain vehicles. And I told him I totally understood that. And I've always been a Honda guy. And he told me if there's ever a specific Honda or a specific car, make, model, year, whatever, he said, you just tell me and I'll get it. He said, I pass on Hondas all the time. He said, Hondas are incredible cars. He's like, but at the auctions, people fight over them. And he's like, the amount goes too high. And he's like, I'm not really going to invest that kind of money into a Honda unless I know that I got a buyer, when I can easily get, a Toyota, a Mazda, or whatever, and I can get them for comparable, or for a cheaper price, even though I can sell them for comparable, return. Anyways, so the point is just that you got to keep perspective. If you're interested in reselling's something you want to do, or something that you're already doing, be sure to keep perspective. Keep perspective about what you're buying. Can you move it? And then if you invest in something, let's get that up for sale. Let's get it, whatever form that you do. Some people, I knew a guy who strictly did Craigslist and stuff, which I could not wrap my head around why he'd want to do Craigslist as his business. It started out as just like a fluke. He started buying a couple of things at a yard sale one day, and the next thing you know, 8 months later, 9 months later, something like that, he was like, yeah, man, I'm just kind of doing this full time. You just go to yard sales, go to flea markets, thrift stores, and he would just flip stuff on Craigslist. And to me, there's way too many flakes, and there's just too much of a headache selling on Craigslist. I mean, I have done it, and I can and will do it again, potentially, but it's not something I'm going to model a business after. But he did. So, I mean, wherever it is that you're going to sell things, whether you're selling, like that at Craigslist, or you're open up a shop somewhere, there are people who open up their own little shops and flip things. There's a lady that I know that I go to church with who she actually buys things and like furniture and things like that, and she refinishes them, refurbishes them, and turns them into something new. They were either old or a dying piece or an antique, and she brought them back to life, and that's what she does. It's incredible business model, but that takes talent and a skill for that. But whatever it is you're doing, whether you're doing something like that, then make sure once it's ready, once it's refinished, reprepared, repurposed, whatever it is you're doing, or if you're just reselling and putting it up online to sell online, get that bad boy listed. Don't waste no time. No reason to store a warehouse. You're not in the business of storage, you're in the business of sales. So let's make some money, and let's make some business, and let's get some sales done. Can't do that if it ain't listed. If people can't see it, they can't buy it. And in addition to that, like I said, market it. Whatever way that you do, market it. Use Facebook, use Instagram, use Twitter, use any form of marketing that works for you. Facebook ads are great. They're incredible. They cost a little bit, but once you kind of get good at it, I mean, you can just steamroll and get some serious traffic. And that's ultimately what you're looking for, is traffic. It's not going to guarantee sales, but it is going to get you traffic. And you can't sell things if people aren't looking at your stuff. So that's what you need. You need traffic. All right. I think I've kind of gone on and on a little bit today, and that wasn't my intention. I just, my head's kind of all over the place. I've been hustling for over 9 hours now, and it was time that I needed to, chime in and speak to y'all and let y'all know what was going on, and tell y'all that, y'all need to get to it. If you want to resell, do it. If you're already reselling and you need some tips, hey man, I'm here. Leave a comment below, leave a questions, whatever it is, I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to let you know my thoughts. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. I have been around, and this is what I do. I mean, I'm a good reseller. I'm good at the business. I'm good at being organized. I am a good business coach and consultant. So whatever it is you want to do, hit your boy Corey B up and let me know what you're trying to do and how I can help you, and I'm going to help you get it done. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, get your notifications. Until next time, y'all keep hustling, get cocky, and let's get it done. All right, I'm out.